We're going to look at a 6th grade English Language Arts, Unit 1, Lesson 1, Defining Identity. Okay, so remember, the way that we're going to be structuring our lessons these are self-paced, meaning you will log in according to your pacing guides, which means pacing means what is due for that week, okay? Some weeks you might have 2 lessons due. Some weeks you might have 1. It's all according to what is due that week, okay? So you will have to be, diligent in looking at your particular assignments to see what's due. All right, so just jumping right in. This week's assignment, actually kind of like last week, but I'm also kind of looking at it, as in our first assignment. It's called Defining Identity. So from your point of view, you're going to look, it's going to be tutorial. And I'm going to I always try to think because it always jumps in and a video starts. All right, so we have our table of contents. And this is this top button on the left. It's going to be a series of dots and dashes. And we have the main idea, focus on language, a lesson activity, reading selection, lesson activity, finding the main idea, another reading selection, and a summary. Also, you're going to see in a resources folder, you're going to see a slide out here of this one's called Social Identity and the Internet, and also your guided notes, Defining Identity. This is a very important document that I ask that my students complete. I want each one of my 6th grade students in each of their lessons opening up this document and using it to guide your notes as you work through your lessons. This document I will refer back to, so I expect you to open it. So let's go ahead and get it open. And so you can even kind of toggle it in your window. A lot of students and so what I mean by toggle, you can see I've gone up there and kind of grabbed it with my mouse, and I'm kind of got it over here hanging out, okay? So I'm going to kind of grab it over here to the side and have it hanging out over here. And it may kind of come down here. I may slide it down. It may disappear, but I'm just going to go and it'll be hanging out in the background. All right, so I have my guided notes. You may choose to handwrite your notes, which is what I prefer also. All right, you also have a dictionary to the left if you need to look up words. You have reading tools, which means you can choose to turn on slide narration. So what you'll do is as you go through these slides, you can choose to have them automatically talk for you, which is what this means. When on, slides that contain narration will automatically play. Click to speak. When on, you can click on sentences to hear them read aloud. So I'm going to turn this off for now for me to do this tutorial, but I highly recommend this for students specifically starting out. So these are things you can do to turn them on. You have translate. So if you have, you speak dual languages, this is an awesome tool for you to help out. Highlighter is kind of an older tool, so I really don't recommend it much anymore. All right, so let's just jump right in. And so at the beginning of all of your English lessons, it's going to start with a brief introduction video. All right, so we had a kind of a little, I saw some words flash up there. I saw the word onomatopoeia. So our main topic here is called defining identity. So I'm just going to, you can see now we're on slide 2. You can even click the little play.
Defining here. Identity.
It would just read it for you. And now it's going to go to the next one. Objective. In this lesson, you will examine main idea through the use of informational text about identity.
In this lesson, you will examine main idea through the use of informational text about identity.
All right, here's another video.
My clothing store, Rags to Riches, is doing great.
I'm going to pause. So I am hearing impaired. And so I always kind of point out to students, one thing I've learned since being hearing impaired is the amazing use of closed caption. Um, Specifically with, I guess, learning, I've thought, oh man, why was I not taking advantage of this? So what I do is I go down here to these three little dots on any of my videos and I turn captions on. And they're like, okay, Ms. Holmes, that's great. I'm glad that works for you. But let me tell you how this can work for you, whether you have this impairment or not. If I'm learning new content, maybe words are coming at me pretty fast and I'm like, oh, wow, what were they saying? Okay. Well, the beautiful thing about utilizing virtual content is you have the ability to start and stop, pause, etc. So as this is reading this to me and I want you to use this on any of your video, audio, visual things that come your way. So as this is kind of coming to you, I want you to utilize this tool. And so as maybe don't know how to spell particular words, this is magic. Okay. This is a game changer. Okay. So I hope that this helps you, be able to kind of take this and empower this for you. Okay. So I'm going to let this play and now the captions are going to be up.
A good location and products that are trendy but affordable have helped me get many loyal customers in a short time. In 2 months, I'll be holding a celebration for the store's first anniversary. As part of the celebration, I'm thinking of designing a new clothing line. I'm so excited about this new line that I stayed up all night looking for ideas and inspiration. And I realized that my biggest inspiration is the college town that I live in. I moved to this town to study fashion design at the university, and I liked it so much that I decided to set up my business here. That was one of the best decisions of my life. I enjoy being part of this fun-loving community. I want to develop a clothing line that captures the spirit of this town, which is a wonderful mixture of American and international students. I love my town's lively cultural scene. Because the university offers courses in areas ranging from medicine to music to fine arts, the town is filled with people with different interests. I want to design clothes that celebrate the variety of people who make this town so interesting. I want to represent their diverse personalities in my clothes. I'm so happy that I located my store in a place that inspires me in creative ways. This town celebrates uniqueness.
All right, so right there. So this is where I would say maybe I didn't know how to spell the word uniqueness. Okay, so right there it is in front of me. This would be to where one of those things where using the closed caption, even if I didn't, necessarily need it or, whatever, this would be a great way of you utilizing the tools in front of you, taking advantage of everything. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that as we were going through this.
And differences, but many common interests also bind the community together. I wonder how life would have been different if I'd chosen to live in another town.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next slide. All right, so it says type your response in the box. Describe the community that you live in. What kind of community is it? Do you think the community has influenced how you grew up? Why or why not? So a lot of times what I'll do is I will actually kind of copy and even paste. And so one way we do that is, you hold down with your mouse, you highlight that and Command Control C, depending on which keyboard you're using, and then same Command Control V. That'll paste it in there. Or if you're right clicking with a mouse, right click, copy, right click, paste. All right, so I'll just break that question down super fast, and I'll even just kind of answer it right there. Describe the community that you live in. What kind of community is it? I live in an amazing community that welcomes my family as well as, as well as lots of entertaining and sorry. My community also offers Lots of entertaining. To do on the weekends. Yeah, whatever. All right. Do you think that community has influenced how you grew up? So then I would respond to that. Okay. So then you would click submit. Now here's what I wanted to show you. Sample answer. They're going to offer you through each one of these a some sort of what they call sample answers. I want my students reading these sample answers because there's going to be times where it's with literature and stuff, and you're going to say, oh, Ms. Holmes, no, didn't get it, didn't get the big idea. But if you'll come on down here and look at these big sample answers, you're going to say, oh, now I get it. Because remember, guys, you are self-paced learners. You don't have me standing there with the text in front of you saying, hey guys, pay attention to this metaphor, look at this particular significance of this passage, so this is where that deep, rich content is going to show up within your lessons. So you would submit that, and then you would move to the next slide. All right, main idea. Select the table of contents icon in the toolbar to view your location within the tutorial. So you would just keep going here. All right, it says the main idea is the central focus of any piece of communication. For example, a newspaper headline sums up the main idea of an article. A headline about a boy who helped an elderly man track down his lost dog might read, Boy reunites lost pet with owner. Think of the main idea as the most important point that the author wants to make. The other sentences or paragraphs contain details that support the main idea. All right, so now I'm going to kind of pull up my guided reading notes that I was talking to you guys about. We've read enough. All right, so let me pull those back up at this point. All right, so what can we fill in here? It says the main idea is what? It's the central focus of any piece of communication. So I'm going to type in central focus, right? So do you see how my guided reading notes work? Magic stuff. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. This is going to help you because you get to use these guided reading notes on all of your mastery tests, all of your post tests. So why would we not take the time as we're going through our tutorials to do these? Okay. This is a win-win. Okay. That's what we call this is a win-win. All right. Moving forward. Identifying the main idea. But what about the topic? Isn't that the same as the main idea? Well, let's look at the difference. The topic is the overall subject of a piece of writing. The main idea is related to the topic. It makes a specific point about the topic, usually in one sentence. For example, say your topic is how the internet has changed the world. You might write this main idea. The internet has improved our lives by making information and communication easily available at any time and in any place. So, while the topic is a broad idea, the main idea is narrow and specific. Supporting details are sentences that help explain or support the main idea. The main idea can be stated directly or implied through the supporting points. All right, so let me pull my guided reading notes back up here. All right. Think of the main idea as the least or most important point that the author wants to make. So I'm thinking that's going to point towards the most because main and most are similar words, right? The other sentences or paragraph contain details that what? Support the main idea. All right. Notice your infographic here, okay? They're matching. All right. So this says, hey, I'm tracking well. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do so far. All right. So the blank is the overall subject of a piece of writing. Okay. The topic right here. Topic. Okay, so my point in showing you this, guys, is I want you to see that it's not hard. I want you to see that it's right there in front of you. So as we're reading it, it's just like jumping out on the page at us. Okay. All right. The main idea is related to the topic. So there's related right over here. Okay. So I've done this first page here for you. Okay. I've got you started and I've gone through essentially 9 slides and we're here to to slide 10. So I got you started. I know some of you have already completed lesson 1 and I wanted to see who would get started, who wasn't started yet. I really wanted just to give you time. Okay. So you have, some of you have already gotten, you're pacing a little bit and some of you are behind. Get started. All right. Ask me questions as you go and let's do this. Okay. Look at your pacing dates. Some of you have some homework to do this weekend. You need to get caught up. Okay. Here if you need me, ask questions. Let me know.